Elantra for 0% APR for 72 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash or up to $3,000 in total savings. Hurry in today.
Good morning, America. Bracing for a government shutdown. The clock is ticking toward that midnight deadline. Overnight, the House passed a temporary bill, but the Senate not sold. The race to strike a deal and what a shutdown would mean for millions of Americans.
Flu emergency. This third grader, now one of the latest victims of a deadly virus. As schools close across the country, we're taking you inside one, how they're trying to stop the spread.
New fallout over that gymnastics abuse scandal. Team USA now cutting ties with the coaches they trusted for decades. And no mercy from the judge for that doctor, as emotional athletes take the stand, slamming him with their testimony.
Chilling new details about life inside that house where 13 children were held captive. Their parents now facing possible life in prison. And the journals just discovered that could shape the case.
And will Tom Brady be back for the big game, or will an injury sideline him with the Super Bowl on the line?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
I make a prediction that will not sideline him.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Brady will be playing. But happy Friday, everybody. But there's a little concern about that injury.
Yeah, anytime
Rightfully
somebody
so.
doesn't practice and it's his hand, he's the quarterback, he needs it, there is some concern. But concern or not, they're going for their seventh consecutive AFC Championship game, which is amazing. They're taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the big question, will Brady practice today?
And play on Monday night. More on that coming up. But first, that showdown over the government shutdown. Clock is ticking. Money set to run out at midnight, 1 year to the day of President Trump's inauguration. The ball is in the Senate's court now after a vote in the House last night. And our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Good morning, Mary.
George, good morning. With just hours to go, there is no solution in sight. The House last night did pass a plan to temporarily keep the government open, but the shutdown threat remains. And now this morning, all eyes are on the Senate. Overnight, the House passing a plan to temporarily keep the government up and running. Republicans are now ramping up the pressure on Senate Democrats. House Speaker Paul Ryan daring them to shut down the government.
The only people standing in the way of keeping the government open are Senate Democrats. Whether there is a government shutdown or not is now entirely up to them.
But several Senate Republicans aren't sold on the plan, and a strong majority of Democrats oppose it.
The House bill is a joke, and it does not have my support.
They're demanding any deal include action to protect dreamers, those nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Democrats argue if there is a shutdown, Republicans and the president are to blame.
Our Republican leader has said that he will not negotiate until he knows where President Trump stands. That's why negotiations haven't gotten anywhere.
There is a bipartisan proposal on the table, but the president has rejected it. Even some Republicans are urging him to close the deal.
You need to be a street fighter in many ways to clean up Washington, but you also need to be the president of all of us. There's a time to fight, and there's a time to deal. It is now time to deal.
Now the blame game is already well underway here. Republican leaders say Democrats are holding funding hostage to get what they want on Dreamers, while Democrats say Republicans will ultimately be to blame for any shutdown because they're in control here on the Hill and at the White House. George.
Okay, Mary, stand by because we're going to bring in our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, as well. And John, let's begin there with you. Yesterday you said the president was MIA in this shutdown fight. He got involved then right after our program yesterday, but kind of complicated matters.
He did. He suggested he was actually against or had problems with the Republican plan to keep the government open. That was early in the morning. But, George, by the end of the day, the president was actively engaged in getting those conservatives, the Freedom Caucus, that had suggested they would vote no, getting them to vote in favor of the bill and getting it passed in the House. Now you have this dynamic, and Mary mentioned it, a very troubling dynamic where both sides are absolutely convinced that the other side will pay the price for a shutdown. That is a recipe for a drawn-out stalemate.
And Mary, that means we don't have a real good sense of how this is all going to unfold today, kind of in uncharted waters.
Exactly, George. We know the Senate is moving forward on track to have this vote on this short-term spending plan later today, but all signs indicate that vote would likely fail. Now, I have talked to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who are now calling for a short-term extension, just a couple extra days here to buy them some more time to negotiate. But leadership right now doesn't seem to be on board with that. Right now, George, it's really hard to see how they can avoid this shutdown.
And that means a shutdown could come. And John Carl, does the administration have their contingency plans in place?
Well, every single federal agency, George, has put up a guidance. This is the one for the Department of Homeland Security. It's on their website for the contingency plan of what would happen. This one for Homeland Security is 45 pages long. But primarily, George, what is happening now is you will see the administration try to make the case that Democrats are hurting the military, hurting children, causing pain because they are pushing us towards a shutdown. The president is scheduled to fly to Mar-a-Lago later today. I am told he will not go if we are headed to a shutdown.
Okay, John, Mary, thanks very much. This is going to impact a lot of people, Robin.
And we're going to talk about that because the shutdown could have a major impact on millions. For more on this, we're going to bring in our chief national correspondent, Tom Yamas. Good morning, Tom. So break it on down for us.
Robin, good morning to you. You know, we just heard from Mary and John. The blame game is on in D.C. about this potential shutdown. But the ones who stand to lose the most from this are the American people. Let's break it down. Let's take a closer look at this right now. First up, the American economy. Back in 2013, the last time a shutdown happened, it cost the economy $1.5 billion a day. Why? Government funds in some cases are put on hold. Now, if the government does shut down, two things you don't have to worry about: mail and air travel. We will still get our mail, and air traffic controllers will continue to work. But if there is a shutdown, the last time this happened in 2013, nearly 800,000 federal employees were without pay. More than 1 million delayed paychecks, including service members who were not paid until later. And also, if you're looking to get a business loan, if you're looking to buy a home, your loan could be put on hold because of those government funds that aren't up and running. Now, in case you were wondering, members of Congress, will they still get paid? The ones responsible for the shutdown? Of course, they will still get their paychecks because their salaries are written into permanent law. And Robin, in case anyone out there is wondering, essential military services will still be up and running even if there's a shutdown. Robin?
All right, Tom, thank you very much. President's tweeting this morning?
President up and tweeting while we were talking to John and Mary. I want to bring in Chief Political Analyst Matthew Dowd for more on that. And John, the president picking up, talking about the government funding bill passing last night, says the Democrats needed to pass it, but then he goes on to blame them. He says they want illegal immigration and weak borders, shutdown coming. We need more Republican victories in 2018. So this gets into the question of who's really going to bear the blame for this shutdown. This would be the first time it had happened with Republicans in control of the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to John. Listen, this is a high-stakes poker game, and if this was a Texas Hold'em tournament, the Democrats' hold cards are much higher than the Republican hold cards are. The last time one party held all the offices, the president, the House, and the Senate, and a shutdown occurred was in the 70s with Jimmy Carter. And that historical precedent, where Jimmy Carter ended up losing the presidency in 1980 and Democrats lost seats in the House and the Senate in 1978, is not a good precedent. So right now, I think the odds favor, if there is a shutdown, politically, it's going to benefit the Democrats.
And it's coming on the year anniversary, would come on the year anniversary if it comes of the president's inauguration. And he heads into his second year, the lowest approval rating for any president starting his second year.
Yeah, George, the traditional gift, as you know, the traditional gift of a first anniversary is paper. And I think this president wants a bill written on paper that he can sign on his first anniversary. This is all headed to a situation, as you say, very unpopular president, very unpopular Congress, very unpopular Republican Party. The Democrats are not that much more popular. It's a perfect storm of bad politics in a midterm election year that could cause huge problems come November.
Long day in the Capitol ahead, Matt Dowd. Thanks very much. Michael?
Thank you, George. And turning now to what could be a big break in a murder mystery in Arizona. A suspected serial killer behind bars. Authorities now say this man is responsible for a spree of 9 murders in 3 weeks. You see the victims there. And ABC's Kana Whitworth is in Phoenix with more. Good morning, Kana.
Michael, good morning. The numbers are staggering here, and police are saying that he knew several of his victims, including his own mother, his stepfather, and his ex-girlfriend's brother. This morning, Cleophas Cooksey Jr. is waking up in an Arizona jail, an accused serial killer.
9 deaths, 3 weeks, 9 people shot.
Police initially arresting the 35-year-old last month, charging him with the December murders of his mother and stepfather, but on Thursday announcing 7 more counts of homicide. The killing spree starting after Thanksgiving and chillingly continued for 21 days in this 20-mile area in and around Phoenix. On December 2nd, police say he murdered a security guard and stole his gun. Police say he used that gun to murder 6 more people, including Maria Villanueva, who they say he sexually assaulted before her brutal murder. Her sister devastated.
I don't even know if I'd be able to face them. Took a part of my heart.
The suspect seen here in this YouTube video rapping about killing.
Murdering my thoughts.
Building a mountain of evidence, police say he also incriminated himself during several interviews.
During those conversations, there was evidence gleaned that additionally links him to these crimes.
Do you believe that there's possibly more victims out there?
You know, I do believe that. I do believe that it's a distinct possibility. The coldness, the frequency, the manner in which he committed these crimes, it's likely there are others.
Cooksey spent much of his life behind bars, including 16 years for charges related to manslaughter and robbery. And police tell me this morning they do have a motive for some of these murders, including sex, money, and drugs. Michael?
All right, I'm glad he's back behind bars, Kana. Thank you very much, Robin.
Yeah, so sad. Okay, Michael, thank you. Now to the latest in the gymnastics abuse scandal as more athletes testify against Dr. Larry Nassar. Team USA has announced it's cutting ties with famed coach Bella Caroli's training center. ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with the latest. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Robin. The Carolis have long been credited with creating some of the best gymnasts in the world. They have denied having any knowledge of complaints about Nassar, but several athletes say it was at their camp that they were sexually abused.
I have been suffering from PTSD for the last 20 years.
As a steady stream of women continue to come face to face with their abuser, Larry Nassar, in court, Judge Rosemarie Aquilina slammed Nassar for writing a 6-page single-spaced handwritten letter to the court expressing concern about his mental ability to hear from all these accusers.
Spending 4 or 5 days listening to them is significantly minor, considering the hours of pleasure you had at their expense and ruining their lives.
More than 150 women have accused the former doctor for the USA gymnastics team at Michigan State University of sexual abuse, including 2000 Olympic bronze medalist Jamie Dancher.
Your days of manipulation are over. We have a voice now. You are pure evil.
Judge, this next survivor could not be here today.
The prosecutor read this statement aloud on behalf of Olympian Michaela Maroney, who claims U.S. gymnastics tried to buy her silence.
If Michigan State University, USA Gymnastics, and the U.S. Olympic Committee had paid attention to any of the red flags in Larry Nassar's behavior, I never would have been abused by him.
And word late Thursday from USA Gymnastics, they're cutting ties with the Caroli Ranch in Texas. The ranch, run by the legendary coaches Bella and Marta Caroli, served as the main training facility for the U.S. national team. Several of Nassar's alleged victims say he abused them at the Caroli's facility.
Calls are now increasing for the MSU president to resign after claims that the school was aware of Nassar's abuse for years. Michigan State released a statement apologizing to the victims, but also adding that any suggestion that the university covered up Nassar's horrific conduct is simply false. The judge says that Nassar may not be sentenced until Monday or Tuesday because she wants to give all the women speaking out about Nassar's abuse the opportunity to do so. We're talking about in excess of more than 100 women.
Still, I mean, the sheer number, and to think that not other people were aware?
Yeah.
People say, you know, there are allegations out there. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Okay, Lindsay, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, guys. We're going to get the latest now on the deadly flu epidemic. This map shows how it's spread from state to state since December. 60,000 confirmed cases. Now we're going to get new numbers from the CDC later today. And ABC's Marcus Moore is at a school in Gunner, Texas that was forced to shut down from the flu. Good morning, Marcus.
George, good morning. This is an astonishing situation and heartbreaking as well. Here in Gunner ISD, there are about 900 kids in the district, and this week, nearly 300 of them were out sick. It's the reason why these classrooms are empty this morning, and the hallways are also quiet. School leaders closing this school to stop the outbreak. Now there's word that the flu virus has killed another child in Alabama. This morning, heartbreak in Alabama. Third grader Zainab Moman was home from school due to bad weather when her parents were forced to rush her to the hospital with a high fever and flu-like symptoms. She died that same night.
Do not try to guess and treat yourself at home, because in some rare cases, God forbid, it might cost someone's life.
Some school districts across the country shutting down for days on end. An extraordinary move to protect students and teachers from the outbreak. Calling in specialized cleaning crews like this one, scrubbing to keep the San Antonio daycare flu-free.
You have to think about it, right? If there's literally one kid in here with the flu virus, right, okay, and that kid sneezes, coughs, right, guess what? This entire environment is now contaminated.
This deadly flu epidemic not limited to children or the elderly. Catherine Gallagher was a healthy 27-year-old working at a brewery. Her mother says she had no prior health issues. But just 5 days after she came down with flu symptoms, the California resident was found dead on her bathroom floor. Despite a visit to the emergency room where she received fluids and was told to rest, the flu quickly morphed into bronchial pneumonia.
The beginning of the worst nightmare that we're not going to wake up from. If young people hear this, they will realize that, that this is not to be trifled with.
Doctors caution that it may take 2 flu tests before the virus is confirmed.
We actually had a case recently where somebody had this test that was done earlier in the day, and then when we saw them in the ER, we used our more sensitive test. The first test in the day was negative, and then later in the day the test was positive.
And back here in Gunner, Texas, they have gone through this entire building and cleaned everything. We're talking about every single door handle, and inside the classrooms, the kids' desks, their supplies, and George, even the counting blocks, all to stop the spread of this virus.
Got to get to everything. Okay, Marcus, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, George, we're going to go now to the big battle, and I'm not talking about which team is going to the Super Bowl. We're talking about what's going to be the site of Amazon's next headquarters. The list of finalists is out. More than 200 communities made their pitch, but only 20 made the cut. Rebecca Jarvis is here with more. Good morning to you, Rebecca. So you look at this map. What does it tell you about the 20 which are now finalists?
Well, it tells you, Michael, that all of these cities, good morning, by the way, all of these cities are major metropolises across the country. Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, New York, LA, Toronto, Canada is also in the running. They started out with these 238 applicants. They have now whittled it down to 20. That's still a big list, though.
But what's on the line? Still a big list, but what's on the line for these cities if they can get the headquarters, and what do they do to try to woo
there is so much on the line here. So 50,000 jobs in new jobs, $5 billion in the investment. The whole process of winning approval here has gone down much like the Olympics, maybe a little less structured, but candidates have been taking it very seriously. Cities like Atlanta put together solutions to tackle their traffic congestion, like improving public transit. Some other cities have taken a slightly lighter approach. Leaders in Tucson, they tried to mail Jeff Bezos a 21-foot cactus. A couple of mayors, the Washington, D.C. and Danbury, Connecticut mayor, they got Amazon's Alexa in on it and said, Alexa, where should Amazon build its new headquarters? Of course, Alexa came back with 2 answers. Not 1, 2 answers. So yes, lots of smart things going on there.
Well, you know what? 20 will be whittled down to 1. We'll see.
We'll see.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Well, Ginger's the one right now to tell us what's going on out west.
Yes, so in the Pacific Northwest, this video really shows you there's a guy standing there. I don't know why, but the 20 to 40-foot waves along the coastlines of both Washington State and Oregon took a life of one man likely. They can't find him in Oregon. And a quick look at the storm moving east. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the weekend getaways brought to you by CarMax.
If you're anything like me, your to-do list just keeps growing. It never stops. Which is why the online financing application at CarMax.com is so convenient. Get some of that finance stuff out of the way from wherever you are, at the doctor's office, karate practice, or my favorite, back at the doctor's office. Knowing before you go means more quality time sewing a costume for the school play that is not going to look anything like a frog. Just a little heads up, Mrs. Davis. Yay, kids!
Well, it's starting out just a little on the cold side this morning, but our temperatures are going to warm very nicely with sunshine today. Your noontime temperature, 43 degrees, and then upper 40s to 50 degrees this afternoon. It's going to feel very nice. And great weather, too, for going out this evening. Check out this weekend. Highs in the lower 50s. In fact, we'll wrap up this entire month with temperatures in the lower 50s, close to 60 degrees. A little rain next Sunday, and some rain coming your way next Tuesday. 60% chance.
Coming up, we have chilling new details about that home where 13 children were held captive.